Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DLloyd, and welcome to a brand new series here on the channel. We're going to be rocking with NFL head coach 06, man, and this is definitely a throwback. It's something that I've always wanted to do. Now, I remember when this game came out. I was literally practicing for a season, so I think it came out super early in the summer, if I can remember correctly, like before two-a-days even began. I remember saying I can't wait for NFL head coach to come out, and I think it was right after the NFL draft as well. So I think it was a weird timing of when this game came out. I'm not 100% certain of the date, but I do remember this game. But I never got far into the game. I remember it was a lot of menus at the time, and at the time it overwhelmed me. I was in middle school when this game came out, and I remember literally it just being too much for me at the time. But now that I'm a little older and I enjoy these rebuilding and management type of things even more than I did as a kid, I think this will be a great series to go ahead and start up. So I haven't decided my team at all yet. We're going to do that together. I do remember that basically the team that you interview with is going to be the team that at least you get an offer with, but you do get a couple of contract offers. So that's what we're going to try to do, and pretty much get a random team and a random opportunity. I'm trying to take out my phone, so we're going to randomize the team that we're going to get. But anyway, I remember we get to choose if you're offensive or defensive coordinator. We're of course going to be an offensive coordinator, because basically we don't need to watch the whole story. We're offensive coordinator from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then from there we're heavily coveted, all that fun stuff, and we get a job offer. So basically that is what it is. And I don't know if they have music, so we're going to skip the cutscene whenever it pops up, but that is our backstory, to keep it nice and brief. So yeah, basically just like I thought, you're the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. You guys won the Super Bowl. You're the highly coveted coordinator or coach prospect this year. So very, very simple, but at least they give you a little bit of context as to why you are getting a head coaching job. Now, I do remember that, so in real life, I'm 26, but we're going to be 36 on the game. Give us a little bit of age, right? Make sure, we have that experience behind us. I do remember, have that deep voice. I do remember that you have to answer a couple of questions, and then I think you just get the jobs right away. So for our offense, do I want to go with single back? They have spread, maybe a balance. I don't really remember the playbooks back then. I don't know how diverse and original these playbooks were. I do know we want to run the football, but I always like throwing the ball deep down the field. Okay, so I'm sure they have to have running plays in here. So we're going to go vertical offense. And then we're going to go with the 4-3, base 4-3 offense. The customization on this game was also super, like, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. It was super basic as to what you could really do. I think, if I remember correctly, I think I just threw a hat on my dude and it just went with it. I think that's basically what we're going to do here. Yeah, I'm not fat at all though. We're gonna turn that down. I'm very skinny, so we'll just go with that. Reebok must have had a brand deal. Pretty cool. This is just the office. I remember you could have different attires for literally almost every situation. So practice, you got to have the short shorts in practice, right? Let's go with gray shorts though, and let's go with the baseball cap. Game day clothing. This basically, I like the Reebok stuff. So let's go with Reebok 1, the pants. Basically exactly what you see. What else do you have here? The fedora, if you want to go super throwback, you have the visor. We want to just go with the baseball cap. Keep everything nice, easy, consistent. My dude's going to be in a baseball cap every time you see him. This is the cold clothing. We're not going to go with open coat. Just get the big jacket on. And you can go Reebok for this too. I get cold very easy, so it definitely makes sense for us. And bam, that is our head coach. Nice and simple. We can always change these things later. We can also change our playbooks later, so that's a good thing to see also. All right, guys, so I'm at the crib. I'm not even in an office yet. Apparently, I already have money because this is a nice office to be working out of. We have to call a team, and this team is going to literally be our interview. So to keep everything as random as possible, let's just ask Google to give us a random number. Give me a random number between 1 and 32.
Here's a random number, 26.
26. So let's just count backwards from 32. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. So literally the exact same team that we're using in Madden 20 is going to be the team that we're interviewing with. And then of course they give us other options. So we'll look at a combination of things when we decide what team we're going to use. So I'm excited to hear from you. Are you ready for this interview? Of course. One option, so we can't really, change our answer there. Which of these legendary NFL head coaches do you admire most? Man, that is tough. I'm gonna be as honest as like what I would do, and then we'll see the results. So out of these guys, Tom Landry, Vince Lombardi, or Bill Walsh? Man, Lombardi's the OG, guys. He's the OG. But Bill Walsh bringing in that legendary West Coast system, able to get the Super. We're going to go Bill Walsh out of those options. How would you attack a cover 2 defense? Hit a receiver with a quick route, establish the run, hit the tight end over the middle. So I'm assuming they mean cover 2 zone. I'm assuming they mean cover 2 zone. They mean cover 2 zone. I'm attacking the middle. You have to attack the safeties. I'm guessing this is as close to that as they mean. So we're going to go with hit the tight end over the middle. I'm not quite sure. You have one last drive to win the game. How do you motivate your quarterback? Calmly encourage him. None needed. He'll know what to do. Say victory, defeat rests on your shoulders. If it's me, I'm calm. You guys know I'm a pretty calm guy anyway. So I'm calmly encouraging him to not put too much pressure on him. Just, hey, you got this. You know what to do. Just go out there. Just another drive. Just the whole game is just on this drive. That's it. That's the only difference. You're at the NFL scouting combine. What are you looking for in players? Actually, I leave my scouting to my assistants. That is not who would say that if you're in an interview. How well they perform in game situations, pure raw talent and athleticism. I mean, you're at the combine, so you're really kind of just looking for the raw talent at the combine. Of course, game situations is huge. I think that is like the determining factor as to how you scout. I don't know what they're looking for in the answer, but if you're at the combine specifically, you're looking for the raw talent and athleticism. That's literally why you are there. So we're going with that. What do you do to stay organized or just intuitively know what to do next? Like to play by ear, go with the flow. I schedule early and stick to it. I mean, literally, as the guy who is playing this game with, pen and paper and writing down notes and stuff, I set my schedule early and I stick to it. That's basically what we're going to go with. What is the most important strength in a West Coast QB? Their accuracy. Easy. Short, easy passes, what you're looking for. You have one of the NFL's better power backs. I love power backs, guys. How do you use them? Split him out as a wide receiver. That is definitely not the answer. Get him to bounce it outside. Run him right up the middle. That's what I'm doing all day long. How do you like to use your slot wide receivers? Guys that can go deep, fast, best route runner, a blocking receiver. As like a guy who could get open. That is how I like slot wide receivers. That's what we're going with there. Apparently, you're supposed to pick fast, I guess. In your opinion, what attribute does the perfect tight end have? Someone that dominates in run blocking. A guy that can block as well as catch. He is very fast. I mean, to be perfect, you could do it both. You could block and you could catch. That's what we're going with there. What is the least important traits in the center? injury, agility. Wouldn't go with, I mean, they're all pretty important to me. I don't need you to get injured, so we're going to go with agility. I guess, I mean, you don't have to pull as a center, so that's the answer we're going with. That takes care of most of the interview. Now I'd like to ask you a quick defensive question. Sure, let's do it. What defensive players' abilities do you respect the most? Ty Law, Ray Lewis, Jason Taylor. Ray Lewis, dude. I like Ty Law. I like Jason Taylor. Ray Lewis, you are literally the quarterback on the defense. He was undersized. He was able to make all the plays, all the tackles. Ray Lewis. Thanks, Devin. I like what I heard. We'll be in touch soon. So, there's the interviews. It looks like they're giving me all the tutorial. We received our first email. Let's see what our first email has to say. So, if you don't know, this series is going to be a lot of menus. Literally a lot of menus, especially until we get into the season. So, if you like those type of things like management, we should have a lot of that definitely in this series. So I got great news, Coach. You just received job offers from 5 teams. You have below. All right, so how do I get to these 5 teams? I have to remember. Oh, here we go. So we got the 5 offers right here. So of course, we have an offer from the Washington Redskins. So we are pleased to offer you the head coaching position. If you accept, $14.2 million over 4 years. Pretty good offer, especially back in 06. To help you in the decision process, consider the enclosed information. The owner goals for next season: win the division, improve our pass defense, maintain our total rushing yards, sack the quarterback more. I don't know how many times they did it last year. They were 10-6 this year. You have a 95 overall offensive coordinator, so you have help already. 53 overall defensive coordinator. The rest of the coaching staff, 63.8. Yes, I do remember you had literally offensive, quarterbacks coach, running backs coaches. You had it all in this game. So $29 million in cap room. Pretty good. You have Sean Taylor, Randy Thomas, Chris Samuels as your go-to guys. Washington coming with a pretty strong offer there. I'm probably leaning away from it though, just being honest, just because of course we're doing them in Madden 20. The Buffalo Bills, $14.5 million over 4 years. So once again, very generous offer. They just want to win 8 games, draft a marquee quarterback. I don't know who the quarterback was in 06. Increase our team rushing touchdowns, score more in the red zone, improve our rush defense. They were 5-11, so we should have a pretty decent draft pick. We have an excellent coaching staff. Offensive coordinator's overall rating is a 69. Defensive coordinator rating is a 62. But they have pretty decent coaching staff with everybody else, 66.3. They have $34 million in cap room. You have Takeo Spikes, Nate Clements, and London Fletcher. So your defense looking pretty strong when it comes to your main guys for the Bills, which could be a good thing for us. We already have good defensive players. Now we can focus on truly building the offense. Kansas City, see what they give us, $3.7 million over 2 years. Kind of offended they don't trust me long term with this team. Their goals is to win the division, have the best offense in the NFL, maintain our total rushing touchdowns. So they were 10-6. Their coordinators aren't that great, but 72.3 when it comes to the rest of the coaching staff. Only $23 million in cap room for us to really try to rebuild. It looks like they have, a lot of the pieces there. So we're kind of going to eliminate. So right now we really have just the one option, right? Which is realistically the Bills. So the last team, we have 2 more teams. Interesting. We have the Jets. See what what New York has to offer. 2 years. Once again, not giving us that security, but we could show what we could do in those 2 years to maybe get a higher extension. So win 8 games, sack the quarterback more, increase our total rushing yards, and convert more on third down. They were 4-12, but they got a good offensive coordinator, 71 overall, defensive coordinator 62, coaching staff 68, staff 19, which is a little tight when it comes to how much money we have to spend in salary cap. You have Kevin Mawai, Ty Law, Jonathan Vilma. It's a little awkward because I didn't pick Ty Law as the guy I like on defense, but you have the opportunity to coach him. And then, of course, you have the Oakland Raiders. So, $7.4 million over 2 years. So money-wise, it's the same as the 4-year deal, just a little less security. But like I said, we could show what we could do, and then they should give us an extension, right? Win 8 games, draft a marquee linebacker, improve our rush defense, increase our total rushing yards, protect the QB better this year. 4-12 wasn't the best record. And when it comes to the coordinator, 77 overall for the offensive coordinator, 80 for the defensive coordinator. The rest of the staff isn't that great, but $21 million in cap space. We have Randy Moss on the team, Charles Woodson, Robert Gallery. Don't quite remember who Robert Gallery was, but you have Randy Moss, Charles Woodson. Randy Moss was literally my favorite wide receiver as a kid. Charles Woodson was a beast. Do we go Buffalo or do we go Oakland? I may go Oakland. You guys know, I don't know if you know. I live in Las Vegas. Literally, there's Raiders fans everywhere here. In this series will be in Oakland still. But Randy Moss, Charles Woodson. I get the opportunity to coach my favorite wide receiver. We're going to go Oakland, man. We are going to go Oakland. Go with Randy Moss here. Go with a 2-year deal, but we're getting a lot of money up front. I think this is definitely doable. So I'm going to write down our goals so I know what our goals are. But we're going to accept this offer here and then go from here. All right, guys. So we are all moved into our new office. You guys see the team colors there. I do like the attention to detail when it comes to you're at your own office. Now you're in the team's facility. So we have orientation. We have a meeting with the owner here, Marquise Bradley. That is the name of our owner. So yes, he's the owner of the Raiders. Pleasure to meet you. Since this is your first day, I wanted to give you a tour of the office. We could figure this out really on our own. You sure you don't want me to help you out? Thanks for the offer. Was that rude? Was that a rude introduction? Just because I kind of remember a little bit about this game. So yes, we're going to continue to the next task. So I do remember also that you had to literally schedule every single task that you wanted to do. Like if you wanted to look at roster management, they had to be scheduled on your list. If you wanted to really do anything, you had to schedule that on your list. So office hours, that allows us to read emails, edit depth chart, modify game plan, change player position, check roster status and roster breakdown. You don't need to enter every office hour task. Yes, so office hours is kind of our general task list where you can do kind of anything. So we do want to go ahead and look at our roster since we kind of have the opportunity here and kind of just see what we have to work with. So you could go through it overall wise. We'll go through it position by position here. So let's go ahead and see what we have. So Kerry Collins is our starting quarterback. And yes, I remember this with the rating. So you see the scale, I guess, right? 57 to 76. That is the range of his rating. So based off of morale, performance, a bunch of factors that will fluctuate as we literally play. So he could go from a 57 up to a 76, all in that range. And the new feature of Madden 20 was the increased player range. They had that back in 06. That's another example of EA bringing something that they did back in the day and acting like it's a brand new feature. But our quarterbacks are okay, like at best, really. Kerry Collins is our best guy. His throw power is 89. His short accuracy is terrible. I don't think it shows us his deep accuracy. Here we go. We can just go through. They have his mid accuracy right there. I don't know if they have his deep accuracy. Maybe that's not a rating. Play action. Oh, long. Okay, yeah, it's 85. So he could throw it deep. This Kerry Collins there. Our quarterbacks, like I said, aren't the greatest. Running backs, we have Lamont Jordan. He could go up to an 89 overall at 26 years old. Speed isn't the greatest. His break tackle is pretty decent. That could go up to a 96, and the speed could fluctuate, which I didn't know it could fluctuate that high. But we have a quick running back in Justin Vargas. 92 to 96 speed, 46 to 71 overall. So a pretty big range there. But we do have a guy who I think we can hand the ball off to in Lamont Jordan. DeJuan Green, third string running back. He looks okay, I guess, just to really fill out the roster. But running backs I feel comfortable with. Fullback doesn't matter too much, but we have a pretty decent fullback. He's 32, so he's up there in age, but we have a decent fullback. Wide receivers, the guy I really wanted to use, Randy Moss, man. Look at this rating, 87 to a 98. 97 to 99 speed, 88 to 87 catching. Route accuracy, I guess that's how good he could run the route, 85 to 95. Route cuts, 90 to 99. So a bunch of different ratings back here in this game. Agility is great. Acceleration, great. Jumping, we know our boy Randy Moss could definitely get up. Press avoidance, so his release isn't the greatest, but once he gets off that jam, he's good to go. Injuries, a little low, but that could go up to 87. So the guy we really wanted, Randy Moss, 6'4", 205, only 28. So prime Randy Moss, at least when it comes to his rating and age. We have Jerry Porter as well, still solid. And they both have that height. You guys know I like that height. 6'2", 73 to 88. When it comes to the third guy, we have Ronald Curry, and he looks pretty good also with Doug Gabriel. So maybe a little competition in the preseason, see who will be that third wide receiver between those guys. Carlos Francis, 5'9", a little smaller guy who could try to be a slot as well. Our receivers, I like them. I like our wide receivers. I can tell you that right now. Tight ends. Who was that? Anderson? I don't know his first name. I don't know if we could pull anything up. It just says C. Anderson. All right, so C. Anderson is our tight end. I don't know why it's not giving us his first name, giving us everybody else's first name. Yes, so tight ends does leave a little to be desired, but I mean, tight end could be a position we could upgrade. Left tackle, Barry Sims, he's up there in age, but 75 to a 94. Kerry Collins has some blocking up there, and Lamont Jordan. Left guard could also be up there as well. Langston Walker, 69 to 88. Oh, 68 to 88. So we have a little bit of a competition at left guard also, but that's a good problem to have, right? Centers, two decent centers. We have a younger guy here in Corey Holsey, who I think, lower floor, but a lower ceiling also, but he's younger in age. Not bad. Right guard, already shown we have a good one. He's Ron Stone, 34 years old though, but we have a solid one now. The backup is up there in age, so we may want to consider maybe getting another right guard at some point. Right tackle, wow, Robert Gallery. So this is the guy that they were talking about, 25 years old, 75 to a 94. At 6'7", 323. Man, is that not a right tackle right there? Right tackle to me. So left end, we only have one. That's Bobby Hamilton. He's up there in age, so we may want to consider another left end at some point. Right end, we have Derek Burgess, 27 years old. Solid guy there. Defensive tackles, we have an old Warren Sapp on this roster, 68 overall up to an 85. Ted Washington, Edward Jasper. We got decent defensive tackles really that can at least compete to really get some playing time. Left outside linebacker. Now, they want us to draft a marquee linebacker. They don't say outside or middle, but here's what we have. Tyler Brayton, 25 years old, 57 to 74. Okay, DeLawrence Grant, Ryan Riddle. So not the greatest outside linebackers there. 68 speed for this left outside linebacker guy. Middle linebacker, we have Danny Clark, 69 to a 85. So, I mean, he looks decent, but he is 28 years old. We have a few years out of him. And then right outside linebacker, we have Kirk Morrison, who I think is fine. He's only 23 years old. So, really, when it comes to drafting a linebacker that they want us to do, it's really a middle or a left outside guy. I think Kirk Morrison is just fine. Charles Woodson, 28 years old. 79 to a 97. We have a premier cornerback. And then we have Denard Walker up there in age, but he has a pretty good ceiling. I think that's Fabian Washington. We have a young Nnamdi Asomugha before he became a lockdown corner for a little bit. 59 to 77, so he's not that guy, but he's solid. Ronaldo Hill, and then we have Stanford Route. He's okay as well. Free safety, Schwartz. I don't even know how to Swagert. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he's a young guy and he has a decent ceiling, got an 85 overall. That is not bad at all. And then strong safety, we have Reggie Tongue. I believe you say that. I don't know. I'm probably messing up a lot of these guys' names, but he has a pretty high ceiling up to an 87. Derek Gibson. So this is our roster. It's not a terrible roster, at least in my opinion. We have a young Janikowski with the kick power is all we need right there. Then our punter is Shane Leckler. So we look pretty decent to me. We're going to worry about the depth chart really later because we don't have to make those decisions right now. And then our salary. I just want to see how long we have Kerry Collins for. We have Kerry Collins, to see if I can figure out how to read this. 2 more years, $4.97 million. But we could get rid of his bonus, which is the guarantee money. It's only $600,000. So we're not spending a lot of money there. And to see how long we have my man Randy Moss. So we have 3 years left for Randy Moss. $6.85 million salary, $960,000 bonus. These guys really got a lot less money back in this day. I'm guessing the red, so the red is amount of time they have left, I believe. So red means 1 year, yellow 2 years, and then green is anything 3+ years. At least on my knowledge, that's how it looks. We have Lamont Jordan locked up, 5-year deal. So that is our guy for a while. They did have NFL.com. That looks like where we need to go to look at stats, scores, awards. They do have a couple of stories as well. So us being the new head coach of the Oakland Raiders, it's pretty neat that they had this back in 06. But let's take a look at the calendar and basically see. So we're on office hour. We'll have our meeting. This is February. So February right now. We have a bunch of meetings, right? Managed staff. I think that's when we're going to decide who we want to keep, who we don't want to keep, if I could remember correctly. And I think this yellow is the scouting. I think that's when we go into scouting. So we should be able to scout, re-sign players. Look like we're just doing that for a while. And we have the combine March 4th. So we have a combine for a while. Then we go back to scouting, post-combine meetings. All right, so what I think we should do here for this episode, I don't know how long this one's going to be. We'll for sure get to the combine. Trade players. You have to schedule when to trade players. Free agency, sign players. So we'll try to make it at least 2 free agency. A little bit of that, and then maybe just go through the draft. We'll see how long this camera can last also, because I'll probably give out 2.5 hours worth of recording before I have to cut things down before my camera starts to die. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and jump straight to the meeting and see what they want to talk about. Real quick, before we jump to the meeting, let's look at our coordinators. I'm pretty sure we have to sign some of these guys and let some of these guys go. So our offensive coordinator, Morris Wills, his contract is up, so he will renegotiate. We have $2.3 million towards our budget, so I think we could try to rehire him now. But you do see his overall 77, motivation 71, strategy a little low 55, player eval 56, good work ethic, QB knowledge, look like receivers is bread and butter. Offensive line is also what he's very, very good at. Tight end, he's pretty good also. So can't really listen to him when it comes to strategy, but I don't know. He looks okay. I don't really know, the gauge on how to gauge a lot of these guys because we haven't seen it. We have Rob Ryan as our defensive coordinator. He has 1 year left on his deal, so we don't have to worry about signing him right now. 80 overall, motivation 64, strategy. Strategy looks low for both of our coordinators. Player eval 59, work ethic 78, QB now. Oh, he's a defense coordinator. Go straight to defense. Defensive line knowledge is good. Linebacker, everything is good except for special teams. So this guy looks like somebody we will definitely want to keep. And then last but not least, let's look at our special teams coordinator, who's still under contract. He's not part of the budget, 54 overall. And the special teams knowledge is literally only a 50. We have a terrible special teams coordinator. Is that, maybe that's not what that, SD, okay. I don't, maybe this means special teams. Our special teams coordinator is at 80. Am I what? SD. Scouting director. Maybe that means scouting director. I hope so, because this player evals to 66. Okay, I was confused, guys. I was like, SD, what are they talking about? I think that's our scouting director. That makes sense to me that he could be the scouting director. You know, if that's the case, he knows a lot about quarterbacks. He knows a lot about receivers. Don't trust him at all when it comes to tight ends or linemen. He knows about linebackers, knows about DBs. That's good. Okay. So those are our coordinators. Position coaches. Jim McElwain, quarterback coach. 1 year left on this deal. You just need to know about QBs. That's a 70. Running back coach. 62 running back knowledge, but he's under contract. I think all of our guys. Okay, here we go. Defensive line coach. Somebody we want to bring back. He has pretty good knowledge. Our linebacker coach is good with linebackers. Chuck Pagano is our DB coach, and he knows about defensive backs. So you could promote people, which is also very, very cool. But let's just see how this process works. So he's a 77 D line. We want to rehire him. Oh, we can only do that during management staff. All right, so yeah, so at this point, we will finally go into the start of the year meeting and see what these guys want to talk about. All right, so the start of the meeting I thought was with my staff, but it's with the owner. So he wants to talk about some changes that will affect the team this offseason. That's cool. I think he's pretty much going to go over our goals. Salary cap will be $102 million. It's cool. Staff budget $7 million. Really don't have options on here. Yes, we're going to keep the vertical scheme. Yes, we're going to keep the 4-3 scheme. Our goals are set. And I'm pretty sure that may be it. So this year, the team needs to focus on rebuilding for the future. Exactly. That's why we're here. Because of this, I expect you to win 8 games. Sounds reasonable. To achieve this, we should draft a marquee linebacker. Yes, give me more info. So draft a linebacker with the max overall rating that is a 75 or above. So we don't necessarily have to get them in the first round, but we want max rating to be a 75 or above. That is, I'm writing this down so I know what we're doing. That is definitely doable. We just have to make sure we get that guy done. Let's see. I want you to prove our rush defense. So he wants it to be considered in the top 8 rushing yards allowed. Got it. Finally, I want you to protect the QB better. So top 8 and fewer sacks given up. All right, so both of those, or all of those, sound reasonable. Today starts the hire coach period. Talk about your staff. Talk to your staff. Select who you want to keep. That seems easy as well. So, pretty simple meeting. We'll go ahead, and we don't want to go to the next one now. I think we should go ahead and we should be able to jump to the weekly staff meeting. Here we go. So this is what we wanted to do the first time. All right, so we have our staff meeting, first staff meeting of this series and of the year. So coach, it's time to meet your coordinators and assistant coaches. Each week, these guys are going to give you information on how their players are doing and suggest strategies for success. Coaches with indicators have something to say. Once you're done talking to the coaches, consider the meeting over. So of course, it's the initial meeting. Everybody has something to say here. So I believe offense is on the either one of the sides is, so it's offense and defense. They're split, but I think one of them on the left, one of them's on the right. We'll find out right now. So the left side is the offensive side. So our offensive coordinator. Our agenda is to pick the coaches we want to keep this season. Thank you, I guess. Nice to meet you. I'm Morris Willis, the offensive coordinator. Cool. My contract is expired. I hope you'll re-sign me. I want to. So let's set up a meeting. It's pretty neat. Set up a meeting with him. On game day, you get a lot more of your players. You motivate them. Okay, appreciate the insight there. Quarterback coach, welcome aboard. I'm Jim McElwain. If you're looking, who the staff, I'm committed to making the team solid. Yeah, I don't plan on firing anybody, but it looks like we'll have a meeting at least with offensive coordinator. Skip Pete, running back coach. Yep, so we're keeping the running back coach, the receiver coach. Really, I'm not trying to make huge changes. At least I can figure out how this coordinator stuff works and who I like, who I don't like by the end of the year. Offensive line coach, you can stay, bro. We're not getting rid of you. Tight end coach. Meetings going very, very easy. You're keeping your job. Basically, all I need to come in to say, and they're ready to go. Looking to keep, yes, we want to keep the defensive coordinator.
Okay. Let's have a quick wrap.
So defensive line coach, I believe his contract is up, so we'll set up a meeting with him.
Hey there, Coach.
Chuck Pagano, keeping him as our DB coach, and then our special team coach, we are keeping him. What a nice and easy meeting. Keep skipping these simulations because it takes forever to simulate here on this game. It definitely wasn't the fastest back in these PS2 days. So we will go to manage staff and we'll set up interviews and re-sign these coaches. All right, so the manage staff, basically we're able to go into that screen we were in earlier and re-sign guys. We can also pick up the phone and interview some people. Your scouting director will send you a weekly email about different free agent coaches. So it looks like our scouting director does almost everything. I don't know if we went to go call some of these coaches. Will it tell us how good they are? It looks like they're going to tell us their top rating. So you have a couple of guys who used to be head coaches. Just some people are really, really knowledgeable about quarterbacks, which is definitely good. So, I mean, I don't think we want to change offensive coordinators. I don't know because I don't know what else is out there. But some of these guys have maxed out quarterback knowledge. It may make sense to bring these guys in. So, Marv Olive, let's call him up. I'm impressed with what you've done with this franchise. Let me be a part of it. Yes, let's schedule a meeting with Mark Olive. Who's the other guy who knew quarterbacks very, very well? Rob Cooper. Let's schedule a meeting with Rob Cooper. There was a guy who was literally an offense. Oh, these guys were offensive coordinators. So was Mark Olive. So let's just interview those guys. I think we need a defensive line coach also. So who knows defensive linemen? Looks like it's getting worse and literally worse as we go down. Here we go. Defensive line guys. So who knows defensive linemen very, very well? This is bringing Vic Adams. Vic Adams looks like a guy we should bring in. I don't know. So that's 3 of 3. So you can only do 3 of these or 3 actions in one of these sections. So let's see when these guys are scheduled to actually come in. Let's look at the rest of our calendar. So we have a couple of interviews. Let's go to the first interview and see what it's like. All right, so the first interview, defensive line, Matthew Davies. All I need is $760,000 for the next 2 years to be your coach. I think this is the initial guy we had, but I have a guy coming in for an interview. So let's do this later. We're gonna hit let's do this later, and interview a couple of other guys first. Well, that seems simple enough. So this work is a lot, especially when I was a kid, like I thought, but I love it now. I don't know how long these videos are going to be, but if you like literally management, you are literally going to know every part of your team. All right, so Marv Olive, this is the guy who knows quarterbacks. So I'm Coach Marv Olive. My last position was offensive coordinator. What would you like to ask me? Well, let's find out. He believes in the West Coast philosophy. All right, I'm trying to do the vertical thing, but it's a little different, a lot different. We'll see. When given the responsibility of offensive play calling, I've never lost a lead late in the game. All right, let's talk about player evaluation. I mostly rely on what they produced in the past. Yeah, I'm on board with that. What kind of skills do you look for in a quarterback, or how would you go about improving our run game? He knows quarterbacks. So let's talk about quarterbacks. What are you looking for? Accuracy, quick release, and very high intelligence, typical traits for quarterbacks. That definitely fits a West Coast scheme, but we're trying to get deep. We're trying to throw these deep bombs. So I don't know. What's your take on zone blocking schemes for our O-line? What do you get the most out of our corpse receivers? Let's see what he does with our wide receivers. He wants them to support in the running games. He wants them to be able to block. What skill positions do you think are the most important for the tight end position? I don't care about special teams, so let's ask him about the tight ends. As long as the tight end can reel in the ball, he'll do fine working under me. Okay. I don't know if we want to deny him or not. I mean, he seems okay. Like I said, I don't know. 1.7 million over 2 years. So it looks like we have to make a decision. I don't know how good he is. Like, you literally have to go off of the interview. We have different philosophies, which scares me a little bit, because I think he's going to keep trying to get a West Coast guy under center, which is not what I'm looking for. So let's pass on it for now. Maybe we could call him back because we did interview him already. I don't know how this works. We're literally going through this for the first time together. So we'll see what the other guy is. I don't remember his name. The other quarterback guy, and see if our philosophy is kind of more aligned during his interview. So let's go ahead and jump straight to the next. We don't have to manage staff at all right now. So let's go to the next interview. We only have a few days left, literally, of this, but we can interview up to 2 coaches a day. All right, so interview 2 with Rob Cooper. All right, let's talk Rob. He also believes in the West Coast philosophy. Maybe, I don't know. All right, so let's talk strategy. He sounds very much like Marv. Let's talk about evaluation. Guys that I like, they get to play. Guys that I don't like, don't get to play. Okay, so he plays favorites a lot. What kind of skills are you looking for in a quarterback? Like a guy who has excellent football knowledge, good field vision, and can make all the throws. So this guy sounds a little bit better. Still a West Coast quarterback right there, though. Has the knowledge, good field vision, but can make all of the throws. We need somebody who could throw the ball deep. That's what I'm trying to get accomplished here as head coach. What's your take on zone blocking schemes for O-line? I mean, we could run some stretches. Let's see, man blocking, whatever. Just tell guys to get out there and get it done. Interesting answer. Okay, what skills do you think are important for tight end position? Yes, that's the next question. As long as the tight end can reel in the ball, he'll do fine working under me. That is cool. Let's see how much he's going to cost. He's actually a little bit cheaper than the other guy. So, I mean, I really don't know between the two. And I don't know if I could go back to the other guy and try to bring him in. We just really need an offensive coordinator. I really don't know if we should find somebody who could fit what we want to do. Man, this is tough, right? Of course, you have to negotiate at least, right? So let's not do the 1 year. Can we do a 1 year deal? Let's just give him what he wants and give him a 1 year deal, because we don't know what he wants. But he's a 90 quarterback attributes, an 89 offensive line. So all of that is really good. Player evaluation is good. Tight ends is good. Maybe this guy knows what he's talking. Maybe I should have did this for the last guy. So maybe not. Let's give him the come down a little bit. I'm just petty. Just because I want to come down. So let's give him a 2 year deal. Bam. So Rob Cooper is our offensive coordinator. That wasn't that bad. So we got the job done there. Now the next goal, find a defensive line coach. So when it comes to the overall, I think he may be worse than the last guy we had when I'm looking at the overall. But his work ethic is high. Oh, I was wrong on the player evaluation. It was only a 55. So it looks like I'm guessing also after the interviews. But his QB knowledge is up there. Everything else looks pretty decent. So maybe we should have kept the original guy. But we live and we learn, right? It's only a 2-year deal. So our current defensive line coach is a 67 overall. His defensive line abilities is 77. So we just need to remember that so we know kind of what we're looking for in these upcoming interview. We only have one interview. We have an email. Let's see what his email is. From our scouting director. Oh, probably should have been looking at our email. I found 2 coaches that are suitable for hire. Okay, Ted Baker. Defensive line coach, knows how to shut down the running game. Okay, so Ted Baker. Maybe we should schedule some interviews with these guys. He's really trying to tell me about this Ted Baker. So twice with Ted Baker, Joe Chapman. Let's since we have this open time, I think we're on manage. I'm pretty sure we're on manage. Let's call these guys if we can find them. So look for a Ted Baker. I already forgot the other guy's name, but let's look for a Ted Baker. It should be probably on the defensive line side. They should really let you organize this by names. That will really cut down on some of this that I'm doing right now. I think Joe Chapman was the guy. Oh, then Ted Baker was right underneath. So let's interview both. And let's go back for Ted Baker again. There we go. So I don't know the order of when we're going to interview these guys, and I don't know if we could call them back after the interview, but let's go to the defensive line interviews. All right, so first guy up is Vic Adams. This is the guy I found on my own. Let's see. He believes in the cover 2 philosophy. I don't know why these guys aren't believing in what I'm trying to do. I never lost the lead late. They keep saying that. Nobody apparently has lost the lead late. Player evaluation, I mostly rely on what they produced in the past. I think that is smart. Your defense tackles aren't getting to the quarterback. What would you have them focus on in practice? If you were drafting no, we're just going to stick to the defensive line. Swim drills, rip drills for really strong guys. Might focus on ball rushing techniques. The rest of it, really, I don't care about because I just need him for the defensive line. So he doesn't want that much money. Let's see if I can see his ratings right here. So we think he's an 84 defensive line guy. I don't know, but we're not going to make a decision right now. Let's go to the next head coach and see what he, or not head coach, next defensive line coach, and see what he has to say.
Here it is.
All right, so interview with Joe Chapman. Let's see what he thinks about defensive line. So, I'm a true believer in the vertical passing game. That's great, but I don't need you. I don't need you for offense right now. You can never be ahead by too many points, but I do like that answer. I definitely do enjoy that answer. I rely mostly on what they produced in the past. Another good answer, but let's talk about defensive tackles. They aren't getting to the quarterback. What would you have them focus on in practice, Joe? Getting the explosive first step off the line. My tackles have to be fast and quick. Okay, so pass rushing, defensive linemen. It's not really going to shut down the run, but okay. What would you do to improve linebackers in 3-4? Linebackers don't really have that much of an impact in the 3-4. The defensive line is far more important. I think linebackers in 3-4 have a very big role, especially those outside linebackers. So I'm not sure I like that answer, Joe. Really wasn't what I liked. Let's just see what he's a little bit cheaper also. Let's see what they said for a 61 linebacker. Yeah, clearly he doesn't know what he's talking about here. I'm not feeling Joe. I am not feeling Joe. But let's go on to the next candidate. All right, so interview with Ted Baker. Let's try to get through this because these taking a long time. So he just didn't run in cover 2. I don't understand why nobody has our philosophy. It's just a simple 4-3. When given the responsibility, why are you talking about offensive play calling? I rely on what they did in the past. We've heard this before. Swim drills, rip drills for really strong guys. At least this makes more sense than the other guy. I don't tell them anything different than I would if they're playing the 4-3s. It's all about playing hard and wanting to win. I mean, that sounds good, but there's still different types of linebackers.
This should make us happy.
I'm really not thrilled with really any of these guys. But let's give him a 1. I don't know if he's going to be worse either. Let's not do anything. Let me see what the original guy is. I think we're just going to give him a 1-year deal and see what he can produce. Or can we set up a meeting with him? I don't know if we can set up a meeting with the guy we currently have either. I think so, because we did that the first time. So let's try that. Now, I think we met him the first time. And he was also talking about the cover 2 stuff. Probably should remember these interviews. That's not really helping us too much at all. All right, so let's stick with Matthew Davies. So we scheduled for negotiations, so you have to do that again. So then let's simulate to the negotiations, or is it just called interview coach? Let's just go to the interview coach and see if that's the negotiations they're talking about. All right, so yes, that is what we're talking about here. He's asking for $820K. We're thinking something a little bit less. So I want the 1-year deal, like I was just saying. Let's say $750. See how he comes back to that one.
I'll take that any day.
And bam. So Matthew Davies coming back, defensive line coach, 1 year. We have our coaching staff now. All right, so another meeting here with our owner. Last week, yes, we reached our goal. We signed everybody. Looked over the roster today, and I like the staff we assembled. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that it? Nope. He has 2 more things to talk about. We need to re-sign our players beginning this week. Talk to your staff, see who they think we should re-sign. If you agree with their advice, put those players in your keys to victory for this period. You may want to view the free agent pool for better players before re-signing ours. That makes total sense. And the last thing he wants to talk about is FYI, restricted free agency begins this week. That is something they still need to put in the new Madden, restricted free agents, man. So, like I said, this game has a lot of micromanaging. But as I get older and as I enjoy these things more and more, I really appreciate what they did with this game. I don't know why they stopped making them, honestly. I know it's not for everybody, but I enjoyed it. So, we can pick up restricted free agents from other teams. It could be complicated, so I recommend you read the glossary. I know about restricted free agencies. So yes, we want to do that. So that seems great. Let's see what's next on the docket, which should be the meeting with our staff. Yes, we want to go to the meeting with our staff. All right, so we have a few guys that have something to say. Let's see what it is. So Rob Cooper, he's new guy here, offensive coordinator. This week the staff will suggest players. Yes. I'm aware of it. That's all he had to say. All right, so we do get somebody, our offensive line coach. So Irv Eatman. Adam True, our center, still has a lot to contribute. He's a very good player, and long career still ahead of him. Let's add him to our keys. I liked our centers, if I could remember correctly. Let me see, it was Eatman? No, that's our actual center's name. Our lineman coach name. Let's look at our centers real quick. They shouldn't be giving us terrible advice. Yeah, Adam True. He's 32 years old. I don't know how much left he has, but I mean, we'll add him to our keys. I didn't guarantee that we were going to sign the guy. He has another recommendation.
Check this out.
Right guard Brad Badger can make a big impact if we bring him back. All right, so we're really gonna need to learn our entire team. All right, so who is this? Our special teams coach, Janikowski. Yes, I want to bring back Janikowski. I agree with you 100%. Chuck Pagano, what do you want? Charles Woodson, I think he's a great player. I would concur with that. I do think Charles Woodson is a pretty good guy. Reggie Tongue, I believe he was decent as well. So I think we're gonna just add these guys. Yeah, we're gonna just add the guys to our keys of victory, which is right here. So that's convenient. It has the names. And then of course we could go and see who's on the open market. Oh, we're going to scout players next. That could be interesting. Scout players in the NFL and future draft picks. Do we have to scout free agents? Interesting. We'll find out. All right. So our first meeting with our scout director. So each week you will select a group of players, either from incoming draft class or in the NFL. The director to scout, for the director to scout. Okay. Scouting players will narrow down the range of the player, giving you a better picture of how that player actually performs. Seems logical. So it's all good to meet you, Devin. I'm the scouting director, Al Schmoyer. Since this is our first scouting meeting, do you want to run down how this works? No, let's just go. Let's just figure this thing out as we go together. So I don't need to scout our guys, but I think I could go to free agents, and I think I could go to the draft. So yes, free agents, of course, and then the draft. So we could just see who's out there. I don't know if they give us a range by default. Oh, everything is just we don't know anything. All right. Pretty sure it's not all of these guys who are in the 90s. But yes. So we do need to, let's just see if there's any quarterbacks out there, at least that I know of. Quincy Carter, no. No. He has the throw power though. So I don't know. Maybe we scout him. Sean King, Hutchinson. So nobody looks great in the quarterback list. But I don't know if this counts the guys who we haven't re-signed yet, right? This may just be the default. This could just be the default guys. I really want to look at centers because we have to make a decision on centers. So a lot of these guys are old. So we can scout 8 guys. Oh, it tells us right away. Okay, so that is definitely good. So Chris Terry, 75 to 92. It's pretty solid. Look at this Ross Tucker guy. He's only 27 years old. So, nah, it's not terrible either. It's really not bad at all, and he's younger. So he could maybe be a center that we were looking for. This guy, I think, just disappeared. I don't even see him anymore. I don't know where he went. We scouted a guy and then he disappeared. Don't know what that means. Bruce Nelson. Not the greatest guy. We really only need one. I don't know how much our linemen get hurt. Why are my scouting players and they're just leaving? If you guys know, let me know in the comment section, because I have no idea why some of these guys are leaving. Okay, so that's good to know that they just kind of let us know from the get-go what we wanted. So I wasn't in love with our tight ends before. So let's see. See Chad Lewis, like we scout him and then he's gone. This is very, very strange to me. This guy's only 24 years old. He can't be that great if he's a free agent at 24, right? I mean, he doesn't look terrible either. So then Chad Lewis pops up again. Do we have to scout some guys multiple times? Oh, it narrowed the range and then give us the exact range. I'm getting it now. Okay. So I'm figuring this out. So that is it in terms of players that we can scout. Okay, but I'm figuring out the scouting thing. So we don't have to show all of the scouting, but we do have some decent guys that are out there. So let's go to re-signing players and see how that section of the meeting works. All right, so we're here at re-signing. we can contact 3 people, it looks like, during this phase. I don't know if I don't think we have to call them. I think maybe we just have to, or maybe we have to call agents. Maybe we do. Let's see if we can do that though from the roster screen. Can we sort it by guys whose contract is up? We can. All right. So we have quite a few guys who are scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent. One of which is a backup quarterback. But that Corey Holsey guy, he's an unrestricted free agent. Right tackle. Okay, so I'm figuring out how this thing works. So that's not bad. So let's go through and look at these position by position. So Kerry Collins, of course we're fine. Or let's not even do that. Let's just get the guys who we know for a fact we need to bring back. So Charles Woodson, he's 29 years old. Yes, we want to call his agent because we need to bring in Charles Woodson. So we can always franchise him. So he's not going anywhere. He wants $16.6 million deal for 3 years. I have to get back in the mindset of this being 06 because for right now, that's like a crazy good deal, right? But it's a lot of money back then. But only $3 million guaranteed. I mean, that doesn't sound terrible to me. But let's break this down. So it's 1.24 per year. Let's see if I could just, I don't know, I'm cheap. I really just did a couple $100,000. I don't even know why I did that. So did we sign him? Bam. We got Charles Woodson back. Next 3 years, we'll have him until he is 32 years old. So not a bad signing in my opinion. Bringing back a guy we for sure know we needed. We also needed 66 overall. Let's see what he's talking about when it comes to contracts. So we want to bring it back. We do not want to bring it back on a 3-year deal. You are 32. Let's bring him back on a 1-year deal. That still sounds a lot more reasonable. Bam. This does not seem too difficult. So we bring back our center on a 1-year deal. Can I bring in my... No, I can't. I want to see my keys of victory for the people that we really wanted to bring back. Our right guard and Badger. Strong safety, Tony Janikowski. All right. So let's pick one of those guys for right now. Oh, we have Ron Stone. I don't think we need Brad Badger. I really don't. And we have Ron Stone apparently for 4 more seasons. So we're not going to worry about him. The next one. So he is by far our best strong safety. But we have Derek Gibson right behind him. And he's younger. I think he's the guy we really need to be signing, not really Reggie. So for right now, let's just focus on bringing back Janikowski because we know we want him. Let's just pay him what he wants and bring him in. So 3 years, but we have a deal. Those are our 3 guys. We'll look at strong safeties and right guards, backup right guards. But other than that, I think for right now, we're okay. So let's go to the next stage, which should be re-signing, right? Yep. Let's go to the next re-signing stage. All right, so it says we have 10 days until the combine. I don't know if the combine unlocks a ton of grades or we could just go in and pick a lot of guys at the combine. But we will keep focusing on free agency. So I have to assume at this point, people in free agency have to be the guys who, like all the guys that we're going to get in free agency. Have to at some point. So I don't know how long this video is at this point. I've been recording for almost an hour and a half. I don't know how long it's been cut down to. But yeah, this series is definitely not going to be for everybody. But if you're interested in this type of stuff, man, if you're just a nerd like me when it comes to management stuff, should be pretty cool. I'm already digging this game. So need a strong safety. We have a decent one that we could definitely go after. None of these guys are really jumping out at me. A lot of these guys are really old. So we'll just scout a few. So let's scout Earl Little. I doubt he'll be that high. Oh, we go to resign. We can't even scout these guys right now. So never mind. Let's just focus on our guys and bring back who I think we need to bring back. So we'll just go ahead after looking at that. I don't know about Reggie, but let's definitely bring back Derek Gibson. And then maybe have Jared Cooper as the backup strong safety. I'm thinking that is the way to go. Now, he doesn't tackle as good as Reggie does, but he has his play recognition. Woo! His play recognition is not good. Maybe we do need to go back to Reggie. All right, tell you what. You can re-sign. Oh, we have to go to the salary cap screen. So, tell you what, let's negotiate with both of them. I want to bring back Derek Gibson. He's a younger guy, but that play recognition definitely scares me. $3 million for 3 years. I mean, he's 27. I don't think that's bad. I think it's a fair deal. We'll get that one done easy. So what we're looking at right now, we have $28 million in cap room. So we do have room. Let's go after Reggie. Try to bring him back on a 1-year deal. I know his agent's probably going to want longer. 3 years, $4 million. Let's try to get him down to 1 year. We'll pay him. We'll give you the money. But just a 1-year deal, dude. So that should take us down to what, around $27 million in cap room. We got him locked in. We secured the second strong safety, or the starter. Chris Carr, he has to be super cheap. Or do we go with Gerard Cooper? I don't know if we go with any of them. Maybe we could draft one or just sign one later. Third string backup quarterback. I think maybe that should be a position. Oh, no. There was somebody I did see. That was Justin Fargas. So his speed is something I'm interested in kind of experimenting with. So we have $27 million in cap space. Let's call him up. Oh, he's restricted. So let's go. Let's make him a qualifying offer. That's even better. So yeah, 1-year deal. We don't want to pay him too much. $700,000. Or we could jump straight up to 1 or 2 million. No, so let's get him with the lowest qualifying offer. He could, yeah, I know he could receive more tenders, but we'll see what happens. And that's it for this period. Let's go to the next re-signing period. All right, so we're going to sign Doug Gabriel right here. He's 26 years old. He's the guy that really compete with Ronald Curry for the 3rd spot. We'll go ahead and try to sign him. Or make him a qualifying offer, I guess. We'll definitely do that. So a 1-year deal, $1.5 million. I think is worth it. Just take us down a little bit, but that should be okay. And then for the rest of re-signings, I'm really not sure we need to re-sign a bunch of other players. Of course, free agency will happen. Then we'll see who's out there, but I'm just looking at we see our depth chart all as one. So looking at our depth chart right here, doesn't look great. Yes, you have Kerry Collins, you have Lamont Jordan, right? Lamont Jordan hopefully should get better, and he should at least go to the yellow zone. I think there's a 70 overall and up. Receivers, I don't know why Randy Moss isn't up there. I mean, of course, we'll change all this as we go, but yeah, we can't even make a move now. But we have Randy Moss and stuff there. Left tackle, we're solid. Left guard, I think we're okay. Center is something that we're going to try to address. Right guard, okay. Right tackle, we were very, very good. Tight end is something that could use some work, definitely. Our left end is okay. He's old, We'll look and see if anybody else is out there. Maybe our defensive tackles, maybe okay. Our corners, I feel comfortable with completely. Of course, we would have went over the linebackers, either middle or left outside linebackers, who we want to draft, because we definitely need to draft one. That's one of our goals. And then for our strong safeties, we just signed a few. We'll see who else is out there, but that's basically how we're looking. So I think for re-signing players, we're okay. Let's go ahead and jump straight, see how far we can simulate. Go to next week, and then is that still re-signing players? So we're going to have the combine first and then signing players. So we'll go to the meeting. We'll probably skip some more, then go to the combine and see how everything works after that. All right, so they really want me to sign Badger. I think I made the mistake by saying that we needed to sign him. That is something that we're missing. So we'll go ahead. We'll re-sign him when we get to that period also. And they give me a reminder about restricted free agents. So not a terrible meeting. He just didn't seem too enthused by us not having our guys signed at this point. So go to our staff meeting again. We have a pre-combine meeting, which is different. So we'll go to the pre-combine meeting, then we'll go to the re-signing meeting after the staff meeting. It's a lot of meetings. That's basically the gist of this off season. All right, so we're at our staff meeting, and a bunch of people want to talk. So I think they're going to talk about sleepers. There we go. So sleepers in the draft. So I would definitely need to write down a bunch of these names to get my pen ready. Okay. So let's go for it. So quarterback coach. Remember, we should look at a quarterback, Matt Henshaw. See, Matt Henshaw. I'll mark him down. We'll look at him. Now, this is the real 06 draft class. So I've never heard of Matt Henshaw, and I'm pretty sure he'll be bad. Now, am I saying I'm going to draft these guys, or I'm just going to look at them? Because that may be a problem. Jerome Harrison, running back. I also want to know if it goes to our keys to victory. I don't think it does. I'm not sure. So, yes, I'm going to continue to write these guys down just so I don't make a mistake. I don't think we need to look at a receiver. So, sorry, dude. No, he's upset because I don't want to look at the wide receiver. Offensive lineman, Clint Danielson. All right. Sure. Well, am I being too nice by like just agreeing to look at a lot of these guys? I don't know. Defensive tackle. I got to trust my staff, right? I have to trust them. So, Roten. So, yeah, we'll look at him. Especially if he's decent at defensive tackle. Linebacker, we need a linebacker. So, we need to make sure we get a good one. So, Lonnie Scott is a guy that they want to look at. So, we also have a pre-combine, but I think that may be with our scouting director. So, maybe these guys were giving me names to get to the scouting director so he could look at them in the combine and we could be set. So, we're going to the pre-combine. Yes, that's with our scouting director. So, we'll see how this goes. All right, so our scouting director here. Let's talk about who we need him to scout. So we get 25 guys. I think the guys that we talked about have they already been selected? Let's see if we can find Henshaw. Yep, so they're already there. So, perfect. So, there's a couple of guys. I don't really think we need a quarterback per se, maybe right now. Matt Liner's already scouted. Vince Young's already scouted. Jay Cutler is already scouted. Just to the top of my knowledge, maybe Brody Croyle. I think back this time he could have been a pretty good prospect. And then let's go with Kellen Clemens as potential backup quarterbacks. But that's it from the quarterback spot. Running back, all these guys should be up there. I really don't think we need to go with one. Lindell White, though, I always knew he was. Let's just scout him, man. I like Lindell White. Lawrence Maroney, There's a Jerome Harrison guy. He looks like maybe a quicker back, but his speed could be from an 80 to a 93, so I'm not really sure. Maurice Jones-Drew was in the game back then, but like I said, we need to be responsible. Look at Reggie Bush, man. Reggie Bush. All right, so we really don't need. We need to be responsible. We really don't need running backs. Like, we can use a second running back, maybe that's quick. Oh man, I don't know. I want to be responsible, but you can always get the flashy pick, you know. Like Joseph Adai, it doesn't hurt to just scout him, to see what he does at the combine. And all right, so then we'll stop right there. We'll just scout those guys. We're up to 10. We got 15 players left for us to go ahead and scout. So we're going to skip on wide receivers this draft. I really just don't think we need to go ahead and make one. Brandon Marshall's in here. Hank Baskett's in here. Greg Jennings is in this draft class. But I think we're okay. So Norris, Moss, Chad Jackson, Derek Hagan. Remember when he was supposed to be good? I don't know if you guys remember that. Let's look at tight end. So Vernon Davis is in this draft class. I think we need a tight end. Let's look at Mercedes Lewis. This dude has like the widest range ever, from 16 to a 99. I think these scouted guys are pretty good for a reason. So this guy already has a pretty solid range. David Thomas. I don't know how many of these guys we really need to scout, but we'll end it there. We may be able to scout more guys also as we go. Center, that was a position that we could definitely upgrade. So let's look at Greg Eslinger. We might have to look at him. I don't know if we have to look at him twice or not. I'm hoping Nick Mangold. I'm hoping that the combine just automatically gives us the full scouting report, even if they're not scouted already. Once again, these ranges are, look at Will Montgomery, are really, really high. I don't see anybody with a okay range really at right guard. So let's go ahead and look at some D tackles. Not a lot of them, but let's look at a few of them. This guy, Broderick Bunkley. He's already looking decent. This guy has a Haloti Nada. That's why I didn't look at his name. It's like he already has a great range. Orion Harris. This scout right here. That Clyde Roten guy, I think he's already on the list of players. He is. Left outside linebacker. So Lonnie Scott's already on that range. Let's see if he's really about that life. Jamar Williams. Let's throw him on there. AJ Hawk is out there, and his floor is a 77. Chad Greenway's out there. So there are linebackers. We need to get a linebacker. There are linebackers out there for us. This guy's older at 24. Let's look at Keith Ellison. No, let's not look at Keith. Let's look at the middle linebacker. See if there's any studs out here. Nobody that stands out already. So this dude could have up to 97 speed. He's very, very short. But let's look at Abdul Hodge. Let's look at Kai Parham. Let's look at those guys. And I want to look at the strong safety and maybe a free safety. So Michael Huff is out there. We know he should go pretty early in this draft. Dante Whitner, we'll give him a look. Let's look at Calvin Lowry. And let's look at Darnell Bing. And there's our 25 guys for the combine. So I don't know if the combine's going to give us anybody else, or at that point it's just going to show us. So that is great. So let's just do the one re-signing, go to the combine, see what happens after that. All right, guys. So we're going to sign that Badger guy. Try to get him to a 1-year deal. He's looking for a 2-year deal. But that's actually not bad either. So I'm getting a hang of how this thing works. So hopefully we could be more efficient and not take as long getting everything situated. But we're going to go ahead now, like I said before, hop to scouting. But just showed you guys we did sign him to a 1-year deal. I don't even know if we could do anything at scouting. Yeah, only he could go, so we'll go past the scouting. All right, guys, so it looks like we could have a trade offer. So the Saints hit me up. Coach, how are you doing today? I'd like to make you an offer. I could really use your wide receiver, Ronald Curry. Remember, we have two. I could give you my tight end, Boo Williams. Let's do business. Call me back when you have some free time. So let's look at Boo Williams, if he'll be able to show it to me. You guys know I'm in the market, of course, for a tight end. And the AIs has recognized that, or they've heard me. 53 to a 91 range. Ooh. For Ronald Curry, we may have to have Boo Williams on our team. So, of course, we would have to do this during the trade players section. So we have to definitely remember that, which we don't have one of those until Thursday. We can make restricted free agents right now, or offers right now. So we're going to go ahead and do that. If we don't make a lot, then of course we can swap one of those out for a trade player section. But let's see who's out there in the RFA, region, or the RFA section, I guess. I don't know if they have a section, or I don't know how this would work. So this game had a waiver system. When you got cut, you go here into the waiver system. That is so cool, dude. I don't know why they don't do that at all anymore, but that is crazy cool. All right, so I don't know. These are all unrestricted free agents, of course. Basically the same guys as before, maybe a couple extra people. But I want to know how the restricted free agent system works. So, it's pretty much the same people as before. Look, Cliff Kingsbury is out here. So what we're going to do is see, we can sort by salary, bonus, contract length, contract status. Maybe that is what we'll do to find restricted free agents. So all these guys are unrestricted, which is fine. We're trying to find, they still may be on other teams, maybe. Okay. Maybe that is how this thing works. I'm not really sure. They haven't really done a good job explaining it to me how it works. So, contract length. Yeah, I'm really not sure how exactly this works. But maybe that happens next week. I'm hoping. That's just a regular management meeting. We can look at the monthly calendar. So all this is RFAs. All right. So we have the combine, which we passed already. Today's the 6th. So RFAs. We can't do anything until April 10th, and then we have the draft. So we may be able to scout players maybe in the meantime. I don't even know if we could do that. All right, so yeah, we'll just go to the office hours. We'll see if we can scout players, and then we'll try to go to the unrestricted free agent. All right, so we have a meeting with our scouting director after the combine. So I've left the combine reports since mental attributes can be taught. Okay. Pay more attention to the player's physical attributes. Do you want to review this now?
I'll go with that.
All right, so we have a full detailed list, literally of all 25 players. That is pretty cool, especially if you want to get super in depth. That is pretty cool. So Matt Henshaw has a very weak arm. He would not be able to throw the needle. I pretty much figured he was going to suck. He has nice accuracy for a young quarterback, puts the ball away from defenders. In terms of foot speed, he could take off, really hurt a defense. Definitely not a guy who is known for making throws on the run. He should not be able to freeze linebackers with play action passes, so he does not look like a go. Jerome Harrison, although he is young, Harrison still needs to improve his patience and vision. Big time speed, which is great. Harrison can break away anytime he touches the football. He runs with excellent balance, stays on his feet well. Harrison hits the hole very hard. He can reach the top speed immediately. He is a hard-nosed player. Defensive backs have struggled to tackle him. Harrison never leaves the field due to injury. He's as tough as nails. Jerome Harrison sounds pretty good. The left guard, Danielson, is a talented pass blocker, ferocious run blocker. At left guard, he paves the way. So I wonder if they just give us the ratings, because this is also a lot. This guy is a juggernaut. Claude Roten, wow. Juggernaut when it comes to speed. He will not get shoved to the ground at defensive tackle. Left outside linebacker, Scott has uncanny instincts. He always knows where the football is. He possesses amazing speed, which is great. Plays sideline to sideline. He shows explosive acceleration. Scott does a good job of breaking down an open field and making the tackle. He is great at man coverage. Has no problem at all blanketing tight ends. This guy sounds like a monster, but I'm feeling like he's making almost everybody sound good. Croyle really puts a lot on his passes. He has a very good arm strength. Our scouts are raving about his pinpoint accuracy. Croyle has an average mobility and is pretty good at moving around in the pocket. Definitely not a guy who's known for making throws on the run. Considering it's early in his career, Croyle does a good job of selling the play actions. I mean, Brody Croyle we're looking for a backup quarterback, so if he's late, he could be good. But it looks like basically the same thing for the most part about Kellen Clemens. Lando White is a very aware player for such a young halfback. Big time speed. That's somewhat questionable. Now I'm starting to question my scouting director a little bit. He could break down anytime, break one anytime he touches the ball. He could turn on a dime. So, I mean, like I said, these sound good. I just want to know if, we have the reports there. I want to know if they're available on the roster screen. There we go, draft classes. So let's say, for instance, we go to quarterback. I think a little bit more is unlocked. So we have Vince Young still. And I think, are these ratings changing? Maybe they're not. Brody Croyle, 60. Well, he's a decent guy. Doesn't have the highest ceiling. But, okay, so they are unlocked now for us to look at. Now, we can't really do any scouting, so we're probably going to have to be blind, I guess, when we're drafting a lot of these guys. Maybe we just get the 25 players. Lendell White has a very solid range. Williams, okay range, especially if he's late in the draft. I'm really not trying to get a running back early. Joseph Adai looks okay. And then Jerome Harrison. So the guy made him sound like a monster, but then he just looks decent. Tight ends. This is what we want to know. So we want to know if we want to make that trade. So Vernon Davis is up there. We know he's a beast. We have Mercedes Lewis, who also looks very solid. David Thomas looks okay. Anthony Fasano. So, I mean, there's tight ends out there. I don't think all of them will go super early either, which is the great part of this whole thing, right? So, centers, we really only have one, Nick Mangold. Nobody else is even scouted for us. Look at the defensive tackles that we have. Elodie Nada looks very good. We knew that, though. We had him before. Orion Harris. So some decent players out here. So we don't even have Lonnie Scott. Was that the guy we looked at? Yeah, we don't even have him scouted. That's interesting. So maybe we have to look at the reports. AJ Hawk, though, we know he's going to be good. We have Chad Greenway now. He looks solid. So I believe we needed was it 75 or above max rating. So a lot of these guys look like they'll fit that mold. In the middle linebackers, there really wasn't a lot out there. This guy looks okay. So they say marquee guy, but there's a lot of players out here that I think we may be able to get. So Michael Huff, Dante Whitner, Calvin Lowry. See, a lot of these guys all have high max ratings, according to my scout. The organization could definitely be a little improved. But Mario Williams, I mean, we'll figure it out before we get to the draft. I'll probably get like a full detailed sheet. Is this what we're talking about? So yeah. I really want to look at oh, okay. So we'll go ahead. He has one more thing to say. Let's see what he has to say right now. We should scout more players in the draft, even if we know we want. Yeah. So do we get more players to choose from? We may get 8, so we get 8 guys. Okay, so we do get more people to choose from. Not the full 25, but we do get a few more. So I want them to scout Lonnie Scott. I don't know why they're not doing this now. So Lonnie Scott, 63 to 89, so a pretty big range, but he doesn't seem bad, especially if we could get him kind of later, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's like the best route for us to go. Cornerbacks, is there really anybody with a nice, decent range? I like for it to kind of be, see Antonio Cromartie already be a little bit lower, so we can kind of pinpoint 69 to 82 for Cromartie. You have Jonathan Joseph, who is he doesn't, oh no, he has the same ceiling. Zamatis, is that how you say his name? We didn't scout him all the way. Jimmy Williams, Ty Hill, and let's look at Ashton U Booty. So that's all of our 8 guys. Jonathan Joseph looks the best. Antonio Cromartie, but you have Jimmy Williams, who looks very good. Ty Hill has the crazy speed, 96 speed. Ashton U Booty. So I wonder how frequently can we do these scouting. So this video has to be like almost 2 hours at this point. So I'm gonna try, maybe we'll try to get through this. We'll get to the free agent, see who's out there, and then get opinions, and then go from there. But let's pick up the phone, call up New Orleans, see what's up with that trade offer. See, maybe we get something back in that trade offer that will make it a little bit more enticing for us to do it, and then get us a tight end. All right, so we're about to call the New Orleans Saints. All right, so let's look at the deal. Is it going to pop up, or do I have to propose it? So yeah, so the deal right here, Ronald Curry, 64, could be a 79 overall. We could get anywhere from a 53 to a 91. So we don't know exactly what he is. I'm going to ask, I don't know how far we could push our luck here. Let's ask for a 2nd round pick. It's going to be a long day. All right, so we weren't even close. I just want to see if they could throw in, an incentive for us to make that deal happen. So here we go. We'll clear that slot. A 4th rounder, dude. Not asking for a lot here. Giving you a receiver, and it looks like he's not going to give back. Is this tight end any good? 5th round pick. Other than that, all right, so we're going to reject the deal for now. We'll come back to it, but you guys let me know in the comment section, should we make that trade for the tight end? I don't know, maybe. So I'm going to just go to the scout management until we get to unrestricted free agents, so that way we can speed this up a little bit. Then I can show you who's out there, and as my assistant GMs, you guys will be able to let me know who we should go with. But what is today, the 9th? So yeah, that's what we're going to end up doing for right now, and then we'll come back and I'll show you guys who's an unrestricted free agent. All right, guys, so definitely trying to wind down this video. I don't know how long this is. If you're still watching it, you're definitely the GOAT. You're the real MVP. If you're still watching this video. But anyway, this is where we are on the calendar now. We are all the way down to April 10th. Still have the draft and stuff to go, but we can save all of that. And we still have free agency, which that's where we're going to kind of get up to, and then we'll stop. So we have our management meeting, which we're currently at. And let's see what he has to say before we get into free agency. So this week, free agency starts. Look to improve the quality of each position through acquisitions from the free agent list. Cool. That seems definitely doable. You met the resigning period goals. The coaches are happy to see the players back. All right, so really non-eventful. Before we get into it, we have a bunch of emails. Just the players that we signed. Okay. Oh, we actually got a trade proposal. Strong safety, Joseph Jefferson, wide receiver Ronald Curry. Look like Ronald Curry is definitely on the trading block. I'll give you all of for Randy Moss. No, we're not. We're not doing none of that. So currently, this is our depth chart, and this is what I have marked down for our needs. So for quarterback, just for offense, a backup quarterback, something I think we need. I think we're okay. Everywhere else, we have a center need. Yes, we have Jake Grove. He's a left guard. We have him over at center. I think that could be a position of need. Also, tight end still to me. We have Anderson. But I think if we could get a more effective tight end with a higher floor, I think that's really where we're at offensively. Defensively, left end, Bobby Hamilton is 35 years old. I think we could get an upgrade there. That could be great. Ted Washington is 38 years old. I think if we could get another defensive tackle, that could be great. And then obviously linebackers, maybe replacing a left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker isn't terrible, but our owner wants us to get a linebacker. So those are what we have really for our needs. So that kind of helps you when you see what is out there and then what really want and then what the rest of our coaches want. So let's go to our weekly staff meeting, and then I'll skip over scout players. We'll go to the sign players. We'll see who's out there. We'll end the episode. They had absolutely nothing to say. So this was a waste of a meeting. All right, so meeting with the scout director. I thought it was going to be a normal scouting where I'm just scouting players from the draft class, but he's saying we need to shift our focus to players who are free agents. So I think that makes 100% sense. So maybe we could see from this screen who is all out there as free agents and then kind of go from there. So this screen should be updated with all of the free agents that are going to be out there for us to actually use. So yes, right away I seen Lance Schultz is different. The list is different. So this is where it finally changes. So you have guys like Jeff Garcia, Quincy Carter still out there. Really not that much difference at the quarterback spots than before. We have 8 people to scout. So remember, looking for a backup quarterback. So we'll go through the position of need. We'll go through all the positions, but we'll also look at the position of needs. Then we'll end this. So backup quarterback, there's Jeff Garcia. And you guys let me know in the comments who should we go after in the next video. So Jeff Garcia, don't know how much he will want, but you see the range right there before we even scout him further. Then there's Quincy Carter. Other than that, I think we may be better off just drafting a quarterback in the draft, especially with Kerry Collins getting older. Running back, we have a guy at running back. I don't think we need to change, but you have Deshaun Foster, Garrison Hurst. You have the other Adrian Peterson, not the really good Adrian Peterson. Dorsey Levens is out there. Charlie Gardner. You have some guys out there, but I don't know how great everybody is on this game. That's our old player right there, DeJuan Green. So those are running back lists. Nobody stands out like, oh, we got to get him. Wide receivers, I feel 100% comfortable with the receivers, but Peerless Price is out there. Maybe he could be the slot guy. You see some of these guys right here. Kelly Campbell doesn't have a bad range, 60 to 85. Freddie Mitchell doesn't either. Of course, you have to scout him a little bit more to get the actual rating, but Wes Welker's out here. Really, like I said, nobody's truly standing out. Now, tight end is a position of need for me. Position that I definitely want to improve. You have this Michael Ricks guy. He's 31 years old, though. You have a young Teo Johnson, the guy we looked at before. You still have Chad Lewis, who's very old, but maybe just 1 year. But really not a lot of guys out here from the tight end position, which is definitely a little bit disappointing. We will look at centers. That's another position of need. Guy we looked at before, Chris Terry, who I think maybe we should go after. He's a guy I think really we should go after here in free agency, would be a guy like Chris Terry. This is our old guy in Corey Holsey. I think Chris Terry would be a great upgrade. And really nobody else. So you can add Chris Terry, the guy who I think we should really go after. Left ends, we just have an old left end. Our best bet is probably just a draft one, just because we have an okay one. He's just old. And there's really not a lot of people here either. Very disappointing free agent class, if you ask me. Defensive tackle, and I'm also getting adjusted to the ratings of what works, what doesn't work. Tony Williams. Our defensive tackle is 38 years old, so it's another situation where maybe we're better off drafting one just to get a little bit younger. We have a guy who can start for this season. I don't know how dramatic the regression is on this game. It's something we'll definitely figure out, especially with some of these other guys. Left outside linebacker. This guy has an okay range. We'll scout him just because his range seems okay. 67 to 84. He's 31 years old though. We have Kevin Hardy, another guy who's up there in age. Really disappointed by this free agency class. We will get a middle linebacker right here. Let's look at Anthony Simmons. And Anthony Simmons, 72 to 89 overall. We have a decent middle linebacker, but that could be good. And this Gary Brackett is 26 years old, and it looks like he could have an okay range. 68 to 85. I still think we should go after the Gary Brackett guy. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Just to get another middle linebacker, and then maybe we draft an outside linebacker and kind of go that route. A bunch of middle linebackers, nobody, crazy, but I think Anthony Simmons, very, very solid. We are a core right outside linebackers. Really don't need a corner, but we'll see who's out there. Look at Lenny Walls. He's okay. Like I said, really don't need one, especially with Charles Woodson and Nnamdi Asomugha, but just doing our due diligence, right? Just seeing what's out there. Free safety and strong safety, both positions where we can upgrade. Now again, so we don't have any stars at these positions. Lance Schulters, he's 31, but maybe we go after Lance Schulters. Maybe try to give him like a 2-year deal. I don't mind that at all if that's the route we decide to go with. And really, it may be Lance Schulters or bust in this class. So I like Lance Schulters. I think that could be a guy that we go after as well. Earl Little, let's see what his rating is. He's up there in age. May not be worth it. And then we'll use the last one. Another strong safety maybe. Tony Dixon. Do not like his ratings really at all. So look at Sam Brandon. And that should pretty much be it. Sam Brandon looks okay. So that's where we're going to end this episode, because like I said, we have to go through now. We have to do our unrestricted free agent signings, and then we have to go to the actual draft. So you guys let me know who you guys think we should go with in terms of free agency. I'll show you guys really quickly some of the guys for the draft. You guys seen them before, but some of the guys from the draft in terms of just overall ratings. Of course, it's going to be the guys we haven't scouted yet, but Vernon Davis is the top guy that we physically scouted. It hasn't been a lot of guys, but Lonnie Scott, Mario Williams, there's that Reggie Bush, of course, AJ Hawk, who I think could be great, especially at the outside linebacker spot, which we need. 77 overall. I think maybe that could be the guy we go with first round, depending on how far he falls. But yeah, Haloti Ngata is a good guy. So we have some decent guys to kind of choose from. But you guys let me know, free agent targets, draft targets. How do you guys feel about these episodes? It's super long, crazy long. We're not even done. I've recorded for over 3 hours, and we're not even done with the offseason. So super tedious game. But, as I learn to get more efficient with it, should go by a little bit quicker, but a lot of stuff. Like, you literally have control over everything in this organization. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope it was worth, however long this video ends up being once I edited it down. I hope it definitely was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more, make sure you guys go ahead, leave this video a like. Let me know you guys want more, and it helps the video out as well. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We post a bunch of videos, and we're going to have more series as we go on. But Madden, and then this is our mornings for right now. So subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.